an era. Because I don't think she's going to come back to her show. Too much has happened to where she wouldn't even be able to cover it. Like, that would be all she would be talking about for the year that she, would be back on.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think she's going to come back, but, like, I don't have any closure. So I think this podcast for me is going to be a way for me to have closure because I really don't think she's going to come back. And I don't think she wants to. She's made enough money.
It's not always about the money. It is nice when you can make money in any creative endeavor, but there is also the routine of it. There's the creative end of it. If it doesn't require her to stop being a creative person, but it's not always about the money.
It's so much strain on her, mentally and physically.
Will there be a lot of? Will there be any shedding of tears from young Poundcake?
There might be. You might have to listen and find out.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to go that far, but I mean, listen. He's already crying. See, I got him set up. I set him up and you spike him over the net. Right. Yes. This is a clip from the little teaser for the Poundcake podcast. Mary's eggs drying up as we speak.
I don't have any eggs left.
They're all dry. Can I borrow some?
You don't have any left? You froze them all?
I tried to sell them and they told me no.
Was that when you were still a filthy, filthy alcoholic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if somebody paid you, like a gay couple that you befriended, if they wanted to pay you to have their kid, like your eggs are still good, your oven
Are you
still
one
works.
half of the gay couple?
No, because I can't afford myself or be responsible for myself, so how am I going to take care of a child? I'm just saying.
I'm assuming this is in the future when you're in a better financial situation.
I'm never getting out of my financial situation. But in this scenario.
Well, you will with that attitude. I have nothing but the utmost confidence and faith in you, Mr. Glass Half Full. He's never getting out of his current financial
Let's
situation.
say I have a rich husband or something.
It's not your fault, man. It's you're a Leo.
I'm a Virgo.
Whatever.
He is a Virgo.
It's all the
Yeah,
same.
Bill.
Duh.
I'm sorry. It's because you're a Virgo. That's why you'll never make any money.
Uh-huh.
I know. But yeah, say this couple has money. They're willing to pay for your expenses, like your hospital expenses, and give you a little something else to boot.
How much are they paying me?
Well,
Not the hospital expenses. How much money am I earning on this? To have it to what is it? A
selling
surrogate?
selling your eggs is very different than being a surrogate.
Being a surrogate, I'm talking about.
That's what you're talking about.
She already said she would sell her eggs.
Yeah,
but
you can get like $5,000 an egg.
Yeah, you can get an incubator.
They said no because I had HPV.
Well, and that's the thing too, is they're going to have to. You know how they stopped worrying about weed and prior issues when it comes to like the military or law enforcement or whatever, because you go far enough down the line and nobody doesn't have anything in their record. So everybody's got HPV, so they're going to have to figure that out too.
And if you do a 3D ultrasound of the baby, it looks like they are HPV. So.
Right. Well, the other thing they ask you about, like your mental health, if you've ever been on antidepressants, is if anyone in your family has any history of like addiction or anything like that. Well, that's my thing. My point.
The odds are stacked against you.
You either lie, and then if they do some kind of a blood test of, I don't know if they can find out if any of that, not alcoholism, but like if you lie about not having a history of some sort of illness, high blood pressure or something, I don't know. But I was like, yeah, there's no way you're going to find anybody who has all of these things. Yeah, everyone in my family has been perfect forever.
Your family history looks great, Mary, but you do have HIV. Were you aware of that? Boy, this blood test.
I would love it if someone was like, have you ever smoked crack? I'm like, well, when the
Browns
I was going to say the Browns went to the Super Bowl. I did smoke crack. I have to be honest there. And they're like, okay, well, we'll give you a pass on that. When it was a one-time celebration.
Surrogate fee, $250,000.
Let's say they paid you $80,000.
No.
That's not enough.
I'm not putting my body through that for $80,000.
But it's only
that.
one. It's only
9 months. Yeah, a whole year's work.
And not even a whole year's work. There's so many things that could go wrong. Not to mention the
So
emotional.
What do you mean putting your body through that?
Through pregnancy.
Emotional.
You're laying around eating ice cream off your stomach. What are you
$10,000
worried about?
a month.
I do that now. I don't need.
Right.
I'm saying.
Yeah, but you got $80,000 and ice cream. You ding dong.
Listen, but I'm saying the emotional.
And after you have that kid, your belly button's going to be so big, you'll be able to put a whole pint in there.
You could just put
and just
cereal
scoop it
in
right.
it.
Yeah.
It's like a cup holder for a big gulp.
No, what I'm saying is that that's a lot to put your body through for a kid that you are not going to keep. That's
but
crazy.
you are keeping the $80,000.
$80,000 is not enough money.
Would you smoke crack?
For $80,000?
Just
yes.
in general.
Oh.
Just, okay. Crack fact! Mary Santora will smoke crack.
For $80,000.
Crack fact!
No, maybe not.
$80,000.
I have an addictive personality. I should make it higher than that.
How much?
I don't know.
This is
$82,000.
Is this tax-free $80,000?
Yeah.
And
you think somebody who smokes crack is going to pay taxes?
I'm just saying, like, I'm more talking the surrogate situation.
Oh, yeah.
Surrogate situation, I would need more than that. Yeah. I would need more than that. You're sick for 3 months.
Okay,
throwing up every day.
I like the women
through that.
I like the women who just let random dudes leave it in, but then they go, "I'd need a lot of money to be a surrogate." Oh, would you? Because
I don't let
this
random
guy,
dudes leave it in.
I just mean women in general. They meet some dude and I don't know how this happened. Yeah, you do. I'd need 80 grand for
We were
to be
careful.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that would be really because you get to experience pregnancy without any of the burden of having a child.
Yeah,
Like,
but
And
the
you
whole
like the
part-
movie Baby Mama.
Yeah, but the whole point of having, like, you experiencing, not the whole point, but when you experience pregnancy and you form a bond with that baby that's inside of you and you become emotionally attached to it, and then you have to give it away to other people.
That's why dads can never catch up because the mom always has the 9-month jump on you.
Yeah.
And when that baby's born, you've been bonding with this kid for almost a year, and the dad's standing there like,
Hey, me too.
Yeah, we
Holding
can
it out
never
here,
catch up.
all awkward.
$100,000.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I said $250,000.
I'm telling you $100,000.
Go find someone else to have your baby.
You
No,
know
they
what you
won't.
could do with $80,000 though?
Not that much.
You
can do a
could
lot.
buy another kid and then
For
sell it.
80 grand?
And then sell it at a profit. Yeah, you hear all these stories about women that like walk up to somebody at Walmart and go, "Hey, I'll buy your kid for 200 grand."
I've never heard of that story.
Oh,
These happen all the
last
time.
week, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'll offer you, because I'm sure some raggedy woman has $250,000 in cash in a shopping bag.
Right.
But yeah, the cops always get called because some woman goes, "A lady walked up in the parking lot and offered me money to buy my kid."
Right.
Right out of the stroller. As if somebody's going to go, you drive a pretty hard bargain. That's pretty good. Bump it to 300 and we'll talk. You get in the back seat of my car, right next to the car seat. Speaking of people who just can't be told what to do, these people who had to be rescued off of Catawba Island because they got stuck on the ice and it broke off.
Oh, it happened
Dummies.
again.
They should let these people float into
Canada.
the sunset. Whatever.
Let them travel up to see Buddy.
You'd have to be in a coma to miss the warnings that they give you this time. You don't get on the ice. Stay off the ice. There's no such thing as safe ice, which is patently false, by the way. They love to throw that out there. There's no such thing as safe ice, but they're trying to keep people safe.
But this year,
If you're on a pond that's 4 feet thick, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
But this year,
it was frozen for like a day,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that, I can see it from my window. You can still see patches of water everywhere.
Yeah, you're up there. You got a bird's eye view
Yeah.
up at Squifle Tower. You'll never get Bill Squire out there on the ice.
No.
The ice is
stupid.
outside.
That's what it is.
Well, and he's no dummy.
Got nothing to do
And
with
also,
the ice.
yeah, it's a very dumb thing to do.
Yeah. 18 people got caught on an ice floe. Because everybody, I want to get out there on the... Why do you want to get out on the ice? Why?
It's exhilarating.
Yeah, it's real exhilarating. You got to call the friggin' Coast Guard. Your dumb ATV got stuck. 18 people got stranded on the ice as it broke away from the land. By the way, I know that there's... Peely Island is technically, I think it's the southernmost point of Canada. Mm-hmm. And it's like 45 minutes from Catawba Island or Put-in-Bay, right?
Yeah.
So, can you if you had a boat, could you get over there?
Yeah.
Or is there like Coast Guard Border Patrol?
So my friends growing up, in my neighborhood, had a little cabin on Peely Island. And this was in the early 90s. I went with them, and all I needed to go there was a handwritten note from my mom saying that I was allowed to go to Canada.
Because even after 9/11, the Canadian border is a very soft border. Even the river between Detroit and Windsor, they always have a couple of boats.
Yeah.
But if you get over there at the right time, you're golden.
Right. So I don't know what it's like. That's the only time I had ever been over there. But they were like, yeah, just get your... And my mom wrote I give my permission to Mary Lynn to go across the border. Here's my phone number. Call me if you have any questions. I'm like, this could not be less legit.
Hey, I came across Mary Lynn Santora. Hey, she's over here. I don't know who she is, but she's got a note. What's that?
What's on Peely Island? Is it just
her friend had a house there, a little cabin
they had a
there.
little lake cabin there.
Wow.
But it's an island that I think is technically the southernmost part of Canada because it's in the water there, but it's like a hop and a skip from Put-in-Bay.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I know those little islands over there, and obviously I've never gone over to Peely because it's in Canada, but I always wonder, because I've never even been to Kelly's. I've been to Put-in-Bay one time, and it wasn't even when I was old enough to drink.
Yeah, I've still never been to Put-in-Bay.
We should do a show trip.
They tried to get this going years ago. They were like, you guys want to do a broadcast out there? I'm like, yeah. But then they came to the conclusion, oh, yeah, we don't need you guys out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are usually promotional opportunities for some place, and they don't need promotional. So these people are out there on snowmobiles on the ice. I would, if I were out on that ice, I'd be like gingerly walking on my feet. I'd be so worried something was happening. These people are out there on snowmobiles, whatever. And the ice broke off, and it was just a guy who is the owner of an air taxi service who saw that he was just flying his helicopter, and he saw these people down there, and he called the Coast Guard. And he said it turned into a little bigger rescue than I was thinking. So the Coast Guard had to pull 18 people off of an ice floe.
Jeez.
Because there's no way off that.
No.
Once it breaks off from
there's
the
a
mainland.
way off. It's just
I mean,
wet and dangerous.
It's cold. Yeah. Get hypothermia.
They had an Air Station Detroit chopper get out there. And someone with an airboat also helped with the operation. The helicopter lifted 7 people. The Coast Guard rescued 4, and the person helping with another airboat rescued the other 7. Now, is that going to cost you something?
If it's an air taxi.
Like if you have to be rescued from something, don't you get a bill from, it's the Coast Guard, so probably not. I mean, that's what they do. But, you know, if they got to airlift you out of somewhere, that hospital is going to charge you, $24,000 or whatever.
Like an ambulance ride.
I wonder, yeah.
Maybe. But if that guy's just driving around, he might start the fare as soon as he rescues you, takes you back to land.
Hey, where are you headed?
Yeah.
Like it's an Uber?
Yeah.
And nobody got hurt. I mean, nobody got hurt. But you can't always count on that. I don't get these people who got to be out on the ice.
How are the snowmobiles? Are they okay?
The snowmobiles are just fine. Okay. I didn't see any snowmobile casualties. And we've got I don't think we have a bureau chief on Pelee Island. That would probably be... Boy, that would be obscure if we had somebody out there. But we have Canadian bureau chiefs. We have Ray in Vancouver, and we've got Robin in Toronto, and some other people there. I don't think we have anybody in Ottawa. I've been watching this whole Ottawa thing. These Canadian truckers that have basically, Ottawa's not a small town. Ottawa's like the size of Fort Worth, Texas. Like under 1 million people there. You can get to Ottawa from here in about 8 hours. And they've been overrun with truckers over the past 10 days who were, protesting COVID restrictions. But it's not like they're just out there protesting. They're like harassing people. And they're
to burn a building
pissing
down
on the war memorial and dancing on the tomb of the unknown soldier. And so America doesn't have... We haven't cornered the market on crazy people. I mean, Canada, people forget Canada is mostly hillbillies. There's a lot of land there and only a few cities.
They're just colder.
They're colder. So that city's been overrun. It's pretty wild. But it's funny how as soon as people are inconvenienced, you see who they really are. That's how great life is in the 21st century. Because it'd be one thing if they were like, we're here and we're not going to leave until our demands are met, blah, blah, blah. But then they get bored. Like I said before, people have too much time in their hands, so they get bored. So they start screaming at people who are wearing masks, as though that affects them at all. And listen, I'm sure there's legitimate gripes mixed in. The Canadian women's hockey Olympic team beat Russia wearing masks. But the truckers have taken over. And people who live in Ottawa are like, I want to go to sleep. Because they're honking horns all night and, in shifts. And I don't know if they declared, like Justin Trudeau said, I'm not going to declare a state of emergency because he knows these are crazy people and they're looking for a reason to escalate everything. Just like down here. You got to do this weird dance if you're going to call in some kind of authorities because these people are not in their right mind and they're either armed or probably less so in Canada. But down here, it's a virtual certainty. They're walking around strapped.
Yeah, what's the gun situation up there? Can you just get them?
No.
Do people have guns?
No. Some people do, like hunters and things. A lot of hunting up there. It's not unheard of, but it's a much more stringent process.
And it's not handguns. Not handguns.
Like hunting rifles and things.
Yeah, I don't think they have the ARs that they have down here.
You're trying to sleep and you hear that, oh God, there's but a whole bunch of them all.
At least do it rhythmically.
What?
If you at least do it in a rhythm, I can just kind of fade away. But if you're doing it randomly, then that's a nightmare.
Right. Yeah. So that's happening up there too. Listen, they are starting to lift. I just got an email from the school district today that they're starting to lift mask restrictions in schools, which I think is long overdue. I'm as liberal as they come, but the masking in schools has gone on much longer than it needed to. But governors in various states, a lot of Democrat governors are starting to lift these mask restrictions in schools. They're starting to go, okay, we're gonna take them out. We're going to see how this plays out or whatever. And we're going to, because cases are going way down. New Jersey, Delaware, Connecticut, and Oregon. Those are all states with Democrat governors. They're all lifting their school mask rules. I had an anti-mask mom start chatting me up at school the other day, by the way, and I almost kind of didn't know what to do.
Right.
Because I didn't want to be...
You don't want to get anything... Well,
I didn't want to be rude, but I didn't even realize she was talking to me at first. I drop my daughter off every morning in kindergarten, and there's this other kid a couple of paces away from her, and I'm giving my daughter a smooch, putting her mask on when sending her in. And this mom and her kid, she just keeps going, just tell him you're not going to wear your mask. Just tell him you're not going to wear your mask. And I thought she was frustrated because maybe the kid was just having trouble with it. Mm-hmm. And she's like, just tell him. And this is within earshot of the teachers that stand in front and make sure the kids get in. So clearly she's trying to make sure that they hear her. Right. She wants to be known as the fly in the ointment, whatever. I'm sure she's not the only one, but I hadn't heard any of this verbalized. And I happened to be there. So I turned tail and I'm walking back to my car. And she goes, these masks. And I kind of look, and she's talking to me.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, yeah, well, yeah, we got to figure this out. Mm-hmm. And she goes, it's child abuse. And I go, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, if you might be on a steady diet of Marjorie Taylor Greene videos right now. But anyway, she was talking about how it's so inconsistent among schools, which is absolutely true, right? You'll have high schools where they're playing basketball and everybody's sitting there in masks. It is very weird. The masks in schools, given the rates of transmission the whole time, long overdue to get rid of those. But she just kept going, and so I didn't want to be like, okay, later. So I'm kind of standing there, and in my head I'm going, okay, am I going to like push back on anything she's saying, or am I just going to go just be polite and whatever? And I opted for the latter. I'm not going to stand there. I got
get into an argument.
I'm coming to work.
Somebody,
yeah, like I got places to be. But she was just, it's abuse, and I've had it, and they need to. I go, oh, okay.
Heck yeah.
I found myself going like, it's all going to be okay.
Right. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
You didn't call her an old crone?
No, she's probably younger than me. A lot of young moms at the school. I'm an old dad. Get out of here, you young crone. I think that's a contradiction in terms. But no, she's a little, slight woman, and, but I was like, well, yep. And so I'm kind of doing that thing where I'm still kind of engaging her, but I'm clearly walking away.
Yeah.
Waiting for her to disengage.
You're doing those,
she just gets farther away.
I got places to go.
But then you get
the thing, and then you're just like,
but you get to a point where you get so far away. I'm like, what are we going to start yelling across the street at each other?
Yelling.
So it's I don't know. I happened to be there. She clearly needed somebody to vent to. Mm-hmm. That's fine. It's fine.
She just wants an
But
audience.
I just hadn't.
Tell her to go to the Alan Cox Show Reddit page.
I hadn't. I guess by luck of the draw, I hadn't found myself in anything like that. You know what I mean? So she walked away and got in her car, and hopefully she had a fine...
I wish you had a mask on you and you just put it on as she was talking to you.
Could you step back a couple feet, please? Thank you.
Ma'am, listen. Yeah. No, listen, I'm over the masks, too.
I'm so done.
I'm vaxxed. I'm boosted, right? Unless there's a place that says you have to wear a mask, I don't wear a mask.
I
absolutely don't wear one outside. But I always have one with me, but I'm over them.
After I got
Because I did everything I was supposed to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I got, so I'm not even on that train anymore.
Yeah, I got COVID.
If they say you have to wear one, I go, okay, I will, because that's your thing.
Yeah.
But if they're like, it's optional, I don't wear one.
Yeah, my boyfriend is he's had COVID, and he's still super, still super cautious about everything. We went to go buy the couch the other day, and I didn't wear a mask into the furniture store, and he was just like, well, where's your mask? You're not gonna... I'm like, I'm done. I've had
it. That place is so big.
I know. I was like,
you're never nuts to butts with anybody in there.
I think it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But he's like, will you go to LA and now you come back and you're an anti-masker? I was like, it's not what it is. I'm just done wearing it.
Well, he might have a point.
Trouble in paradise.
You're an anti-masker.
He's joking,
Yeah.
But...
Well, I didn't know you went to Orange County.
God.
I got a break. I'll have another $1,000 for you right around 3:30. So listen for that keyword to go fund yourself. Want to text for anything, 35192. After the break, if you're trying to get to that Dream Theater show, they're playing the Goodyear Theater. Where's that, Akron? Yeah. The Goodyear Theater, February 23rd. So if you want to see Dream Theater, I'll hook you up coming back.
The Alan Cox Show.